At around this time of the year in our parish and in all our parishes, we are preparing for the next RCIA session. So RCIA, it means the Rite of Catholic Initiation for Adults. So it's the process by which new Christians come into the church through a period of prayer and study and discernment. And those people will be received into the church at the great Easter Vigil next year. And it's a time for all of us then as a parish to really encourage and support those who are beginning that journey. And also it's a time to think about in your own lives, if there is anybody you can think of, family member, friend, who might be thinking about taking the leap. You know, sometimes it just takes for a Catholic to ask the question, have you ever thought about joining our family in the church? It's quite a brave thing to do. But sometimes people sit on the fence and maybe all they need is that encouragement from one of us. So that's our job in these days. But you know, one of the things that always fascinates me is to listen to the story of those who are thinking about joining the church. What is it that inspires people to say, I want to become a Catholic? I want to live within the sacramental life of the church. We know, first of all, it's a gift from God. It's the seed of faith that's planted in that person that inspires that kind of response. It's the free gift of faith given by God. But when you speak to people who are on that journey, you actually find out quite quickly that there are other practical reasons. And most people that you speak to who want to be Catholic, most of them will say, there is somebody in my life, a wonderful Catholic, who has inspired me. There is somebody in my life who has shown me the path, who has moved me to make this decision. Because we all know it makes a big impact when you meet a Christian who doesn't just talk a good game, but who really lives the faith. And particularly who lives their faith in concrete, practical action. And in many ways, this is the message of today's second reading from the Apostle James. He says to us, look, you cannot claim to have real faith if it's not accompanied by good works, by acts of charity. He says to us, faith is dead if it doesn't move us, inspire us to action. And we know that to be true. Just think about some of the most inspiring saints of the modern era, somebody like Mother Theresa. She lived her faith through her work in serving the poorest of the poor. Mother Theresa, she would go to the convent chapel every day and she would spend hours on her knees in prayer. But crucially, she would say, there is a time when you have to get up off your knees and you have to put your faith into concrete action. And that's exactly what she did. She went out into the streets of Calcutta and she found the street children who had nothing. And she would bring them back to the convent and feed them and clothe them. She understood that faith, when it's real, it inspires us to that kind of action. We have another great modern example, the soon-to-be Saint Carlo Acutis, the young man who is on his way towards sainthood. His story is fascinating. He, as a young man, he wanted to spread the message of the gospel. And he did it in a very unique way. He set up a website on the internet. And on that website, he put all the information about the miracles of the Eucharist around the world. And thousands of young people flocked to that website to learn more about Jesus. Again, Carlo Acutis, a young man of faith who put his faith into concrete action, good works. And you know, this is not just something of the past. The church of today is full of such people, inspiring people. I think about people in our own parish here at St. Augustine's who come faithfully to help in the many different outreach projects we have. Say at the People's Pantry, giving free food, or the clothing project, or the furniture project, or even people around the church who give so freely and willingly and generously of their time and talents, maybe with our children's liturgy, maybe singing beautifully in our choir upstairs, or maybe as readers or altar servers or passkeepers or whatever. People who say, it's not enough for me just to talk about my faith. I have to show my faith in a practical, concrete way. So the message for us, it's super clear. The question we ask ourselves today, am I doing enough practically in living out my faith? Many of you will know that the diocese has begun this renewal project called Wellspring. And part of Wellspring is about really galvanizing Catholics, practicing Catholics, to get more involved in the practical mission of the church. More involved in ministries which support and reach out to those in our community who need more help. And over the next few weeks, I'll be speaking a little bit more about this, ways in which we can all get more involved in parish life, sharing our gifts, our talents in some practical way. In the meantime, let's try every day to show the Lord our faith is alive and strong because of the good deeds of our life. Amen.